So the Met just took place, and before we get into why the Met might officially be in its flop era, let's deconstruct some of the looks of the evening. Did celebrities nail the looks this time, or do we have to sit through and watch uninspiring, shallow interpretations of this year's exhibition, which was Sleeping Beauty's Reawakening Fashion? It draws inspiration from the Costume Institute's own permanent collection to highlight the multisensory experience of wearing clothes. Based on the name of the exhibition, the dress code for celebrities this year is the Garden of Time. As explained in Vogue magazine, the dress code is inspired by a short story written by J.G. Ballard in 1962. In this story, there is a combination of beauty and destruction. It shows how over time a garden of flowers ends up sloppy and graceless. First up, we have Lana Del Rey, of course. I'm so glad she's back on the red carpet serving us art as usual. She wore Alexander McQueen and referenced this look from 2007. Her look gave us pure garden fantasy realness. It featured thorn-like details all throughout the dress, while she held a single red rose in her hand. The veil over her face tied the whole ensemble together and made it look hauntingly beautiful. Classic Lana Del Rey. Kylie Jenner wore a beige structured gown by Oscar de la Renta that was inspired by the garden statues mentioned in the short story. Props for adhering to the theme, however, I don't really see the statuesque aspect of it, except that the dress has some sort of structure, of course. I wish she would have gone for a more old and grimy looking garden statue look, but that probably would have been too experimental for her. Now this is how you do a statuesque look. Tyla stunned in the sand effect Balmain gown that accentuated the contours of her figure. She also held an hourglass, which I thought was pretty clever and was a cool and different take on the theme. See, you can have an impactful outfit without just plain old flowers randomly scattered over your dress. Kendall Jenner became the first person to ever wear this Givenchy archival look. She said that it's been sleeping for the last 25 years. It's literally a sleeping beauty, which I thought was pretty clever and on theme with the garden elf vibes going on in the dress. Kim Kardashian appeared in a sheer Margarella dress with a metallic lace chain featuring leaves and floral accents. There's nothing much to say about this look except for the sweatshirt looks a bit out of place and awkward, especially the way she was trying to constantly hold it together, and I thought that looked quite fidgety. Gigi Hadid showed up in this thorn brown look, and the entire dress took a team of more than 70 people over 13,500 hours to make entirely by hand, and will live in Brown's permanent archive following the Met Gala. I loved her hair and makeup. While I appreciate how long this dress took to be made and the immense hard work behind it, the dress looked underwhelming. No disrespect to the designer, of course, but feel free to disagree in the comments. Last but not the least, Zendaya. We can't close this segment without talking about her, of course. Zendaya's choice for the 2024 Met Gala was a custom haute couture look from Maison Margiela Artisanal by John Galliano, as well as a surprise archival look. Let's talk about the first look that featured fruit-like embellishments and a dark night-themed colored scheme. I loved the stylistic approach, however the silhouette of the gown was a little basic. I wish she had given us something more avant-garde and asymmetrical. Her second look featured a black floor-length gown and a hat that looked like a bouquet, which I thought was really creative. There were hundreds of other looks on the Met this year that were either a hit or a miss. Some of them featured predictable garden-esque flower details without any depth to it, and other celebrities didn't care about the theme at all as usual and just wore the type of clothes they normally would wear at any red carpet event. It's just underwhelming when some A-listers have the resources, top-notch styling teams and designers at their disposal, yet sometimes fail to serve at the red carpet of fashion's greatest night. I guess they're just not as crazy about it like they used to be. Could this have to do something with the declining relevancy of the Met? Now, before we get into reasons why the Met might be flopping, let's get into its brief history real quick. The Met Gala is a grand and prestigious annual fundraising event that benefits the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute in New York City. It was established in 1948 by Eleanor Lambert, a notable fashion publicist, as a fundraiser for the then newly founded Costume Institute. Initially, the event was a simple dinner with tickets priced at $50 each. It wasn't held at the Met, but at various venues around Manhattan, such as the Waldorf Astoria and the Rainbow Room. The event took a significant cultural shift when Diana Vreeland, the former editor-in-chief of Vogue, joined the Costume Institute as a consultant. She moved the gala to the Metropolitan Museum of Art and introduced thematic galas. Since 1995, Vogue's editor-in-chief Anna Wintour has been the chair of the event, overseeing the guest list and themes, which has led to the gala becoming a more exclusive and high-profile event. A single ticket costs $50,000, though designers may opt to buy an entire table for at least $300,000. The Met Gala is one of the most significant fundraising events in New York City, with the 2019 edition reportedly raising a record $15 million for the Costume Institute. The Met, known for its extravagant themes and celebrity presence, has had its fair share of criticism over the years. While it remains a significant event in the fashion calendar, there have been instances where the gala has been deemed a flop by critics and public alike. Every year, it's been an ongoing debate of celebrities dressed according to the theme. Many show up at the event dressed rather plain and bland according to the internet. When attempts are made to dress theme appropriately, sometimes it looks rather pitiful and cringe. Like the time when the theme was gilded glamour, it was assumed by many that gilded meant something to do with gold, when in reality it was a concept from New York's Gilded Age, when excess, grandiosity and wealth defined both the decade and the fashion. It referred to the Golden Age in America, the period of rapid industrialization and a massive economic growth during the decades. In my opinion, the best year for the Met was 2018's Heavenly Bodies, Fashion and the Catholic Imagination. Almost every look was spellbinding and was done right by both designers and the wearer. Both male and female celebrities outdid themselves and surpassed everybody's expectations, despite the controversial nature of the theme. The Met Gala has historically been a sanctuary for the elite of the fashion world and Hollywood royalty. The arrival of social media personalities who may lack the traditional credentials of the established elite has been seen as a dilution of the Met Gala's storied legacy. Critics argue that the presence of influencers undermines the gala's exclusivity. The event, known for its stringent invite-only policy, appears less selective and more accessible, potentially diminishing its prestige. There's a perceived difference in cultural contribution between traditional celebrities and influencers. Detractors feel that influencers, primarily known for their social media presence, do not carry the same cultural weight as film stars, musicians, and fashion icons who have contributed tangibly to their industries. The Met represents a blend of art, fashion, and culture. The influencer culture, often associated with commercialism and transient trends, is seen as at odds with the timeless elegance and artistic expression that the gala promotes. In my opinion, fashion and style influencers should be invited to the gala, as they are very much in line with the spirit of the Met. Instead of inviting viral, popular YouTubers and influencers who aren't really known for their stylistic image or contribution to fashion and art. Remember the Karl Lagerfeld theme controversy at the 2023 Met? It was supposed to be a tribute to the late German designer. However, Lagerfeld's legacy is complicated due to his problematic remarks. He made fatphobic, racist, and misogynistic comments, which led to backlash from critics and social media users. Some questioned whether Lagerfeld's contribution to the fashion industry outweighed his harmful statements, leading to debates about the appropriateness of honoring him as the theme. The 2022 Met Gala faced criticism for its theme gilded glamour and white tie. Critics argued that this theme was out of touch with reality, especially considering the ongoing pandemic, high inflation rates, and issues of racial and financial inequality during those times. And some people said that it was not an era that should be romanticized. And that time when Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez wore the Tax the Rich dress, Danny Haiphong, a social activist and writer, said that what offended him was not the dissonance of a self-described Democrat socialist hobnobbing with the elite, but that AOC and the squad are not leveraging their enormous base of support to demand the very thing that she put on her dress. The Met Gala is available to the masses for opinions. Many don't understand art and fashion or the vision of the designers when they make the outfits. Most of us view it from a very short sighted and narrow lens and share our opinions on platforms, trashing the looks and the whole concept of the gala itself. I'd say fair enough. The Met looks aren't supposed to be universally appealing anyway. It's that one night when the attendees can wear something outrageous, unconventional, and artistic, so why not go all the way? Like the time when Kim K wore this black Balenciaga ensemble and people said it was ugly and looked like a ghost or a shadow. Well, that was kind of the point. It was not supposed to look pretty. It was about making a statement, which he pretty much did, so there's that. These are just a few instances that highlight the challenges of curating an event that balances artistic expression with thematic adherence. The Met Gala's flop era serves as a reminder that not even the most glamorous events are immune to critique, and that the line between a hit and a miss can be as fine as the needle used to stitch a couture gown. All in all, the Met Gala still continues to be synonymous with opulence and high fashion, despite not every iteration of this prestigious event being met with applause. Dubbed the flop era by some, in the recent years have seen the gala fall short of expectations, stirring debate and disappointment in fashion circles. Looking back at the humble beginning of the Met Gala, it's impressive to see the volume of growth and success that it has managed to achieve. Anna Wintour's new strategies seem to be working in her favor. Even though some people might frown upon the quality and exclusivity of the Met Gala declining over the recent years, introducing Gen Z to it by inviting their favorite social media stars and celebrities might just be the way to go. I feel like the Met isn't really flopping. It's just the fake outrage and loud minorities that pop up every now and then, virtue signaling and temporarily changing the social landscape until it bounces back to its usual form. The Met was, is, and will always be enjoyable to watch. Despite the slight ups and downs, we aren't running off outrageous high fashion looks and artistic creativity anytime soon. It'll be interesting to see it further evolve and take shape of the upcoming societal changes and trends that follow.